Vanakkam, and welcome to this edition of Indulge Auto. Today, we keep telling you that we'll bring you a good new car, a nice new car. So today I have something that is very different. This is the Kia Syros, and you're seeing it exclusively here. Now, the thing with the Kia Syros is it is not just a rehash of a design of a Sonnet or a Seltos or any other thing. It's a completely new model by itself, which has very different looks, very different features, and in fact, I would say it is a technological showcase for Kia, and that is a good thing, right? Because this car has so many features, so much stuff to show you. I don't know if I'll be able to cover it all, but I'll certainly try. Now we'll of course stick to our standard parameters. So yeah, let's start with the front and see how it goes. You see, the design, as I said, is very different. I like the way the headlights are treated, these daytime running lights, which also double as indicators. And you can see the full LED lights in action here. There is a camera, then there are the parking sensors, and of course, a camera there, because don't forget, this car has advanced driver assistance systems or ADAS. All of this together, and oh, of course, I must point out there is another sensor out here. All these sensors and your cameras and everything come together to give this car that ADAS level 2 system. The front is a very different look. It's a very subjective matter. I don't know yet if I like it or I hate it, but it looks kind of cute to me. Some people have said that this looks like a trumped up vehicle of another manufacturer, but I disagree. I think this car has very unique looks, and when you drive something like this, it definitely sets you apart in the crowd. On the side, it's a very different look again. Now, I like the way this treatment of the lights has come here. Of course, you have a camera here because this has a 360-degree camera. As I said, it is part of an ADAS system. The wheel treatment is somewhat different also. I mean, it's got very different looking alloys. Nowadays, there's this whole fashion of what you call these diamond cut alloys and all of those things. But I think the wheels in this car look totally different, and that is a good thing. Now, look at the door handles. They are like that. So to open the door, you just need to pull it and close it. The beep sounds because the key is in my pocket, and I think that's a good reminder. Over here also you have a rather largish window, if you ask me. Those sitting inside can get a good view out. I like the scuff plates that are kind of here. And then there is of course the quarter glass. Roof rails, well, they're more for show than go rather. But yeah, you can't deny that it looks good. The rear end, or should I call it the backside? I'm just wondering. Anyway, it's very cute to look at. I think this gives the car a lot of personality, or should I call this a SUV? So many things, so many factors in this car. I'm sort of confused, but yes, I love these lights, these rear tail lights. I think they're very funky. You have a high mounted stoplight. You also have indicators down here. Overall, it looks very cute. The backside, to me at least, it looks, some people may call it chonky. I think it looks cute. Let us take a look at the boot. Now, the boot, of course, I must point out the camera here because this is part of the 360 thing. I like the fact that there are two lights here, which means that if the boot is open at night, people know that there is a light. This, of course, is what hides the luggage from prying eyes. But, I really feel that this should have had a small tether here so that instead of just doing this, you could probably hang it by something. But okay, that's a minor thing. The boot, well, of course, it's a small car. What do you expect? It's not very big, but yes, you can maybe put in a couple of small suitcases or a medium-sized suitcase in this. That is as far as the boot goes. Of course, I was telling you about the eighth speaker, which is a subwoofer that is right here. That is as far as the boot goes. Is it practical? Well, considering the fact that this is an urban car, a city car, you can go on the highway. Of course, it's got a lot of safety with 6 airbags and a host of other technologies. But yes, maybe a very big trip with your mother-in-law may not be possible. But yeah, for a small family, I think there is sufficient space. The interiors are very funky. And there's an amazing thing I must show you, which is unique to this car and not to anything else. I'm just taking my phone in my hand, which of course is connected to wireless CarPlay, and I'm going to open the scanner. You would ask, why would I open a QR scanner? Because there's a QR code out here. You see, if I take this QR code and open it, believe it or not, what it opens to is something called Kia Sustainability. And because they use recyclable materials throughout the cabin, so Kia actually has a dedicated site which tells you what all sustainable materials have been used. Of course, what I can do also is if I need to charge my phone, I can put it here, and there is a QI wireless charger here. Besides that, let's take a look at some of the funky things here. One of the good things I like is there's a little recessed place here. So you can put things like pens and stuff which will not come flying out at every given opportunity, even a mobile phone for that matter. There is a Harman Kardon sound system in this car with 8 speakers, including a central speaker here and a sub at the back, which I think is fantastic. Perforated upholstery, that's always been my favorite. I like the color scheme. It's muted, but it looks good. It looks classy. Uh, Material, I'm not a big fan of all this leatherette and PU stuff, so I shall refrain from commenting on that. This does look a little drab and it does look a little plasticky. Uh, but yeah, you cannot deny that this is one vehicle that has a lot going for it. Now, you have two USB-C chargers here. You can switch this between simply charging or to connect the system to the system with a wire. Now, the thing is that you may or may not use a wire because the whole system is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which can be wireless. The screen they claim is, of course, 30 inches, but there's a caveat there. 30 inches also means there are two 12.3-inch screens here, and the climate control is right in between. So yes, this is a funky gear lever. And as I said, there are two cup holders here, which you can use as a normal space. And if I push the button here like this, then it becomes a cup come a bottle holder. Of course, that is one thing. Now, the other thing that I must show you is this what they call the double D cut steering wheel. So it's cut here and it's cut here. Makes it nice and chunky to hold. What I like is the controls here, they're slightly angled. So you have a drive mode and a traction mode, which is self-explanatory. And yes, this gorgeous screen, ventilated front seats, and a huge sunroof. This is what it is here. Let's sit in the back and see how it goes. So the back seat is quite spacious. I'm really surprised. Despite being a sub 4-meter car, there's ample leg space at the back. I mean, the front seats are, pushed quite, but in spite of that, you have a lot of space here, which I really like. The rear end also is not bereft of features. There are a lot of things I'll tell you before I, of course, come to my favorite feature. But I would like to start with the fact that this is the first car in its category to get a ventilated seat. Mind you, no other vehicle in this segment has it. Of course, the ventilation is restricted to the seat cushion, but I still think it's an awesome feature which most cars should have. Of course, the sunshade. Now, you would remember that Kia and Hyundai were the pioneers in doing this, and this is something which I feel is very required for our climatic conditions because of the heat that we have here. Small conveniences which I really like. For example, the window button. This is a one touch, which is again, I feel very good. It has a pinch guard, so if there's an obstruction, it'll stop. Look at this little mobile holder here. I think that is again a very thoughtful and a convenient feature. You have two USB-C charging ports here. You have AC vents here. And of course, when I press this button, the smart air purifier comes on. So interestingly, this can be controlled two ways. There is a button, touch button here, and there's of course a button in the front, so even the driver can control it. My favorite feature, I keep telling you, is this center armrest. Nice, convenient center armrest which has two cup holders. Overall, this feeling of sitting in this car is very comfortable. I love the airiness of the panoramic sunroof, although you know my views are that it's not a useful feature. But on good days, when you want to let the sun in somewhat, I think this is magnificent. Overall, very practical, very comfortable. So I don't see a cause for complaint anyway. And of course, you're breathing better air because of this air purifier. Now, I think what we should do is take a look at the mechanicals of the car before we take a drive. Let us now talk about the engine and transmission options of the Syros. So, ah, here we are. When you open this rather substantial bonnet, what is happily gurgling away behind me is a 1.5 liter diesel engine, which we have in our test car. This engine produces about 113 horses, but has 250 Newton meters of torque. This is mated to either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic transmission. You also have a petrol engine option that does produce about 118 horsepower, but then the torque is lower at 172 Newton meter. That's a 1 liter GDI engine, which is part of the Hyundai and the Kia family. That is mated again to either a 6-speed manual, which is a first for this segment, or to the 7-speed dual clutch transmission automatic, which is there. But today with this car, we have the diesel here. So let's take a drive in it and see what it feels like. So we are driving the Syros now in urban city traffic. It's great to drive in this kind of thing because it is a responsive engine and the gearbox is, well, a clutch box cannot be that accurate and quick, but whatever it is, it reacts well. Will it win 0 to 100 contest? No. But what it gives you is remarkably smooth driving experiences. The suspension is very good, and I find that it is not overly soft, or it does not roll too much the car, and it is not that hard which makes you feel as if you're sitting on some kind of springs or something. Overall, it feels good to drive. The car has a lot of features, as I said. It is meant to be a car which satisfies and ticks all boxes. You might find a few shortcomings here and there, but every car has its own shortcomings. This car, I feel, is very good to drive, very comfortable, and is tech laden. What more do you want? So, this was the Cyrus, or the Cirrus, or whatever you like to call it. Interestingly, the word Cirrus apparently comes from a Greek island where everybody is happy, where everybody is prosperous, and life in general is good. Now, the point is, if you have a vehicle like this, will life be good for you? I would say definitely, because as we were speaking during the time I was driving the car, this vehicle ticks most boxes, if not all. And I think it's a good combination of looks, high tech features, space inside, and of course, a lot of other things. So I would give this vehicle a complete 8 out of 10 if you ask me how to rate it. Pricing, well, we don't know yet, but as soon as the pricing comes, you'll see it in a ticker here. My own guess is it will be priced somewhere around between, say, 10 to 17 lakhs. And 17 may seem a little high, but then, this is a different car. But yeah, that is my guess. Let's see how it goes. Meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed reviewing the car with me. For more, stick around as we bring to you more cars, more exciting vehicles in the weeks to come. Please subscribe to our social media channels and stay safe, drive safe, buckle up. Till then, thank you for watching Indulge Auto.